When I got my laptop cooler, I quickly realized that I needed a certain kind of USB cable, one that had the same, I guess, male A adapters on both ends, and not like male-female like you might find in an extender cable. And so I went searching the web for it and had a relatively difficult time coming up with the exact model that I needed. A little perseverance, and eventually I happened to find a retractable version of the cable that I needed. And that got me to thinking, I've got a few, smaller retractable USB cable kits, but I happened to stumble upon this one from Cables to Go, and this is about the most comprehensive one that I've seen, and I just couldn't pass it up. Look at this thing. Look at this. Those are all, well, except for one, these are all USB cables. And here's the box, which I saved because I can, read off exactly what's in here. Stereo, earphone, and microphone. That's what this is. See, that's not USB because it's microphone and earphones. USB 2A male to USB 2A female. A male to A male. I didn't use this one. This is a separate unit that I got, but there's another version of it in here. And unfortunately, or fortunately, these retractable cables come with these wacky stickers that are branded, but I could easily pop them off, which is what I'm going to do because I don't want to see someone else's brand on a USB cable. Of course, it's also, if I go on, there's a 2 male, a FireWire 6 to 6 pin, A male to A male connector for, I believe, mini, A male to B male connector, and what else? See, this is what I'm talking about. There's like adapters here. So I could take this and plug it into, see if I can find it here, this, and then I can make a completely different cable just by connecting one end to another end to another end to another end. And you're thinking, well, Chris, you only need one USB kit, right? Wrong, because inevitably I will need to use the same cable in two different places, so unless I have two different cables, well, it's going to be kind of a pain in the neck, unless, of course, I'm using a USB switcher, which I also happen to have. Goes on, including a couple of, 4-pin, 5-pin minis. There's a 4-pin to 6-pin FireWire, 2 RJ45 to USB 2 AF connectors, and 2 RJ11 to USB AF connectors, and then an RJ45 crossover connector. And so, yeah, this is a pretty comprehensive kit. I think it ran about $30 on Amazon.com. It's a very nice case, very nice kit. Of course, I'm assuming the cables are going to work okay. I mean, if the cables don't work and this, company called Cables to Go stinks, then they need to rename themselves. But I don't know, because I haven't had a chance to try it yet. But I'd assume they work. I mean, they're just USB cables, right? Yeah, right. Don't need the box anymore, but I am going to hold on to this. Inevitably, you need that extra USB cable, and I am all about the retractable, especially here, like on the desk. Let me show you. I plug it in here as I have to lean over here with my Zalman cooler. Plug it in there, that in here, then plug the other end in here, and now the fan is on. So the fan in the notebook coolers is running. Can't hear it because it's very quiet. It's running right now. Can you hear it? You can't. I swear you can't. Remember the last time that I was talking about it, I hadn't had this cable, so I couldn't get it to work. But it works perfectly. Amazingly well. But instead of having, let me just show you what I could have. Instead, I could have this cable, strung around. But this cable, look at that. Look at it. This is a huge. I'll have to hold it in front of the curtain. See that big cable? Now compare that to this. There's no comparison, right? It's so much cleaner to have a retractable cable, even when you're sitting here at your desk. Doesn't, you don't want cables flying all around, do you? Are you really one of those cable kind of persons? Really? I couldn't even say person there because my mind was thinking guy, but you may be a gal, and gals and guys can use USB cables. Male and female. No pun intended. If, of course, you took that as a pun. So Cables to Go has got a pretty comprehensive kit. Again, I picked it up on Amazon.com. You may be able to find the same, or maybe of an even more comprehensive kit. What is that one USB connector you've always been waiting for that you can't seem to find? My email address is chris@perillo.com. Maybe you know of other USB solutions that I might want to have in my stable of tools or kits or tool kits, or maybe you're thinking that I'm a tool talking about kits. Anyway, drop me a line. You're also welcome to stop by the chat room. We love talking about hardware, software, blah, 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 blah. Anything related to the world of technology in general or general technology specifically. I'm streaming this live video out right now. You're not even aware that I'm going out over the internet with this live video in this chat room. That's where you can join us, here in the chat room, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, at one place and one place alone, and that's live.perillo.com. We'll see you later.